Joining us now is our buddy Nick Campanella, President Chairman of Sun Pacific Holdings, public company, symbol SNPW. Sam Nancy Paul William. Welcome to the show, Nick.
Hey, Ed, how are you? Nice to speak to you on the phone.
Can't complain. One thing I've noticed about you and Sun Pacific is you guys seem to have taken the lead when it comes to taking an environmental advantage in the solar industry. Can you kind of tell us a little bit about you and the company?
What our lead directive is to promote green energy and try to create U.S. jobs and try to keep a lot of people working. We've developed various different products in the solar industry with our non-glass solar panels that we are developing now, which are state-of-the-art revolutionary product. We're working on LED technology as well. And what we've done is we've incorporated a lot of those different technologies into our smart bus shelter, which is something that we just started rolling out, and we're expanding our footprint on.
Well, Nick, one thing that you don't know about me is I actually built a solar farm before. And a project I did before, we did a solar farm and a trophy farm, and also did a fish farming operation to show that you could actually create a profitable operation outside of the grid. And we ended up selling that excess power back to SoCal Edison. You mentioned the solar-powered bus shelter. Can you kind of give us some color on that?
Basically, what we've done is we've created a smart commuting experience for the passengers. We're working with local communities, different municipalities, and transportation authorities where we've developed a solar-powered bus shelter, which provides LED lighting, provides charging station, provides Wi-Fi hotspots for the passengers so while they're waiting. We've also incorporated digital and static advertising displays on our shelters, and that's basically in order for us to be able to promote the company by selling advertising space. And what we've also done is have the Wi-Fi that allows us to upload and change messages right on the fly. So if there's an amber alert or silver alert or any public announcements, we're able to notify the public and get that message out there as quickly as possible.
Wow, that's pretty impressive. Having seen, obviously here in Dallas with our public transit system, having seen some of the facilities, I'll put that in quotes, for people who are waiting for the bus, that sounds like a major upgrade for the most part. When you think about the Wi-Fi aspect of it and the phone charging aspect of it, is there any, and you can take this any way you want, but is there any way that when you do the Wi-Fi, you're extracting any data that might be useful going forward as far as the company is concerned?
Well, what we're also working on is data mining and allow us to provide the users and the passengers access to the Wi-Fi and be able to target market-specific products to them as needed. What we're also looking to do is bring in video surveillance so we can monitor the shelter for their protection as well as monitor the flow of traffic. So if they do have access to Wi-Fi, they can see the traffic patterns on the municipal roads, or if there's any problems or any accidents that occur, they'll be able to have the municipality or police department be able to look at that footage as well for an added security benefit.
Obviously, you mentioned security. You talk about building automation, too. How does your product move to the forefront when it comes to building automation and making those buildings much more efficient in the use of energy?
Well, what we've done is with our smart technology, our solar panels that we're designing now are lightweight, almost 40% to 50% lighter than traditional panel. So what we're looking to do is incorporate them as building facades, as well as incorporate them on roofing structures. Main situation with roof loads when you're doing a solar project is the weight capacity and for structural purposes. So our solar panels will be able to address that situation and help and increase the footprint on other locations that do not have the structural tendencies that some other buildings would have.
Dick, one of the things that we ran into in building our solar facility was obviously the longevity of the panels themselves, the fact that the panels themselves weren't necessarily biodegradable because they were older vintage, and obviously yours are. When we come back on the other side of this break, I want to delve into the secret sauce, not totally secret, but how you guys have managed to build such a smarter panel with longer life that's also environmentally friendly. Is that okay?
Yeah, sure. That's great.
Right. When we come back, we'll do that. I guess one thing I'll actually add before we go is that you look at the next generation side of it too. We'll talk about that too, and we'll talk about exactly how you guys put that together. Because for me, having done this before and having seen it, and I know I'm kind of monologuing, so I apologize for that, Nick. But having done it before, a lot of the stuff that you're doing is new to me, and it's interesting to me. And we'll go obviously really, really, really deep into what we're actually doing as far as that's concerned. So after this break, we'll come right back with more of Nick Campanella. This section here brought to you by Lots of Yachts. Welcome back to CEO Money. This is Ed Baxter sitting in for Michael York. We were talking to Nick Campanella, President and Chairman of Sun Pacific Holdings. Nick, we left off with me monologuing about your product and some of the next generation things that you do. Give me some ideas about how your particular panel does represent the next generation of solar and LED lighting products.
Well, basically, our solar panel, as I indicated, is lightweight. We have different polymers that we've been able to incorporate into the panel that also makes it a non-stick surface. So a lot of the big problems with solar is cleaning and keeping them dust-free. With our technology, we're able to use regular rainwater as it comes down and cleans the panels, so it eliminates a lot of the debris. A lot of the best inventions come through necessity, and there was a big need for what we've been able to build and design with the lightweight panel. We were working on a canopy system, and this was the target that we went to.
Well, one of the things that also seems to be occurring, you guys are growing at a pretty rapid rate, and you mentioned earlier creating new jobs in America and so on. And talk to us about your new facility you're planning in Florida.
Well, basically, we're working with a group that is helping us raise some capital funds in order to create jobs and set up a facility in Florida. We're looking to set up the company there for the manufacturing process for our solar and LED division. We're planning on hopefully bringing anywhere from 300 to 400 new jobs in the state.
Wow. So
we're working closely with the government officials there to help us find the appropriate location, preferably somewhere that has a high demand for employment.
Well, I noted that one of the things that would be required for some of the things you're doing is probably an enterprise zone situation where you create a tremendous number of jobs that are good jobs for people working in the United States. Some of the other projects that you mentioned are projects in Rhode Island, other situations where you're looking at gas to energy conversion. Give us a little bit of color on that.
Well, what we've done is we're expanding our footprint with our solar bus shelters, and we've been answering a lot of RFPs. We were fortunate enough to win the RFP for the state of Rhode Island.
Wow.
We took over a contract that was run by Lamar Outdoor for the last 20 or 30 years. We came in, we provided them with a new mousetrap, showing them the benefits and the technology that we're looking to incorporate in the existing transit system that they have there. So as we started doing that, we looked at other opportunities to work in Rhode Island, and one of the projects that we're working is a gasification waste-to-energy facility where we're taking recycled products and converting them into natural energy and be able to provide that power back into the grid in Rhode Island.
Do you see that as somewhat of an expansion of your existing business plan, or was that part of the original plan to go into the gasification and, or I guess in this case, creating energy from waste?
Well, what we do is we look at all different types of opportunities in the renewable energy space. So whatever we can do that's green related or try to reduce the emissions in today's lifestyle that we're living in is something that our gear focus is pointing to.
Obviously, recently we saw the CO2 gas level emitted by automobiles grow to over 50% here in the United States. So that's a form of a concern for a lot of different people, yours truly included, because we've done similar types of projects before ourselves. So when you think about where you want to take the company going forward, what do you see as the biggest areas of potential growth for you? We got about a minute to go on that.
Basically, is the solar and the renewable energy factor. As long as the government helps us to be able to create solar products or renewable energy products and eliminate from bringing in stuff from overseas, it'll help us create more jobs in the U.S. and keep our economy going.
Are there any particular markets you see you're attacking from a geographic standpoint, or are some states better than other states? Because I know that we did ours in Palm Springs, California, a lot of sun there. What are particular states do you guys like?
Right now, we're predominantly looking at Florida, California, and Rhode Island. Rhode Island has a big initiative right now with National Grid looking to buy back as much power as possible. So that is one of the strong initiatives that we're looking to do. We're entertaining, working with landowners there in Rhode Island, where we're looking to acquire and purchase or lease some of their properties in order to be able to build out large-scale solar farms in order to be able to sell that power back to the grid.
Nick, I'll have to cut you off there. I appreciate you joining us today on CEO Money. We'd like to have you back because I'd like to talk more about how you do what you do and how you do it very well. Thank you very much for joining me.
Great. Thanks, Ed. Have a great day.
Thank you. That segment was actually brought to you guys by Lots of Yachts.